Hello everyone, I am Chessrook44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Geneforge 3! Well, we've cleared out all the areas around Fort Kentia, so now I think it's time we actually go into Fort Kentia itself. Let's see what's going on in there. Hopefully we can help out. At last you enter Fort Kentia. You haven't been here for several years, not since you were rushed through on the way to the school. It's much bigger than it was. It's the main port where goods flow in and out of the island. Despite the chaos outside, things in here are fairly secure. There aren't enough soldiers on Greenwood Isle to secure the lands to the east, but the rogues aren't strong enough to assault the fort. It's a stalemate. When you walk through the gates, everyone passing by stops to stare at you. The presence of a Shaper is huge news here. You see in the eyes of these outsiders both fear and hope. They do not realize that you are an apprentice, or that your training wasn't even completed. As far as they are concerned, you are a Shaper, and that is all it takes for you to solve the problems that afflict them. Oh, okay. As you look around the fort, a woman runs up to you. She is young and thin. She is also extremely upset. Her eyes are red and she has been crying a lot lately. She blocks your path and bows so deeply that her hair brushes the ground. Then she straightens up, looks you in the eye, and says, "Oh, Shaper, I am Pix. I am so happy you are here. I need your help. Please help me." "What is the problem?" "Oh, Shaper, it is my husband. His name's Torsten. He is sick. Nobody knows with what. It's a weird disease. Maybe it's a Shaper thing. Could you look at him? See if you can see what it is? Maybe you cure him if you can?" "I might be able to help you. We shall see." "Oh, thank you, Shaper. I told Torsten that he shouldn't give up hope. He is in our home in the southwest corner of town. Please, look at him if you can. It would mean so much to me." She points to the southwest as if she expects you to go there immediately. "We will go, but we'll go later." Greenwood Isle is under quarantine by order of the Shapers. None may enter or leave this isle without permission of Commander Hevig. This order will be in place until further notice. Quarantine? That does not sound good. Why is it under quarantine? What's going on here? Oh, there's an Artilla back there. Okay. Maybe there's a Shaper here somewhere. Who knows what's going on? These quarters are abandoned. Doesn't look like anyone has lived here for weeks, at least. Coins and healing spores. Always good to have healing spores. Alright, let's keep looking around. Structure there. That's the east exit, it looks like. Yeah, that's the east exit. Okay. Keep looking around, see what we can see. Structure here. I think we can leave that closed. I don't think we need to break in. Or in there. Or in there. Yeah, we'll leave those locked locations locked. We'll need to get more mechanics and such soon enough. This is probably the trading area. The docks of Fort Kentia aren't huge. The only docks in these islands large enough for big merchant vessels are on Donal's Isle. Instead, these docks are for small wooden craft used for fishing and carrying crystals and finished hardwood planks to Harmony Isle. However, oddly, the docks are mostly empty. Almost all of the boats have been taken away. There's only one here at the northernmost dock. This area is a trading courtyard where goods coming to and leaving the island are bartered back and forth. Only one merchant is here right now, though, and she isn't happy about it. "Hello, Shaper," she says gloomily. "I'm trapped here with the quarantine. Would you like to see my goods? I have nothing else to do with them." "Where are you from?" "Oh, I am from the mainland, but that was years ago. Now I spend most of my time on the seas, traveling among the Ashen Isles. I spend most of my time on the Isle of Donal, but I also get goods on Harmony Isle and Gull Island." "Oh, I guess we can learn about the islands here. Tell me about Harmony Isle." "It's the next island in the chain. It's a swampy mess, but valuable herbs and roots grow there." "Tell me about the Isle of Donal." "It's the largest island in the chain. Donal's Keep is there. It's the capital of the region. That's where Lord Rahul is. He is pretty much the boss of everything around here. The Isle of Donal is on the other side of Harmony Island." "Tell me about Gull Island." "It's 3 islands away to the north. I don't know much about it. A lot of Shapers are there. Or were there. They buy a lot of my goods. Weird place, though. Cold, rocky, just them and their serviles." Are there any other islands in the chain? Just the Isle of Spears that I know of. The farthest one to the north. That's just a lump of rock. Tell me about the quarantine. I don't know much. I can't leave. Others can't go on. Only Commander Hevig can give people permission to depart, and I can't even get in to speak with her. I hear rumors that it will be lifting soon, now that they've made progress against the monsters. But I bet it's just that. Rumors. Artilla eye? We can get the eye of an Artilla? Yee. Why do you have the eye of an Artilla? Why? Why would we want one? Ugh. There's Commander Hevig. You have found the commander of Fort Kentia. She is a middle-aged woman, no doubt experienced both in war and administration. Lately her job has become far more difficult than expected. When you approach, she bows to you, the appropriately respectful greeting from an outsider to a Shaper. She is very glad that you have arrived. Welcome! Welcome, Shaper! I am Commander Hevig. I have been waiting for news of the school. What has happened there? Is the school sending help? Are the Shapers going to help us? I have bad news. The Shaper school has been destroyed. As you tell the story, Commander Hevig slumps back into her chair. She seems stunned. So, you are it? You're the only Shaper being sent to save us? Oh. Hevig is no fool. Unlike the other people here, she realizes that you are still only an apprentice. She doesn't seem to believe that you can do anything to help them. Of course, she still seems willing to let you try, or convince you to try. This information is useful. It is valuable to know what has been happening here at the school. Now, if you wish, I will tell you what has been happening here. Tell me what has happened, or what you know of it. Well, as you know, the island has been overrun with monsters. Rogues, you would call them, but they are monsters to us, and there are lots of them. In the bushes, burrowing underground, everywhere. They first appeared deep in the mines at the north end of the island. News came back to me of miners being attacked. A few attacks first, then more. But the day I realized that there was a real problem, the attacks came. They came out of the mines that fast? Yes, the crystal mines to the north. Many long galleries burrowing down through the granite, full of deposits of beautiful, flawless crystals. From what I hear, 1 hour the tunnels were clear, then just minutes later they were full of monsters. A few miners died. Most were able to flee, thank goodness. Then the monsters poured out and spread out. They hid in the woods, crawled everywhere, jumped out in ambushes, killed humans anywhere they were isolated. So I called everyone back to the fort. Many got on boats and left for other islands. And then the quarantine happened. Quarantine? A courier came from Donal's Isle. A courier from the Shapers. That is the largest island in this chain. He said that all travel between islands was to stop immediately to restrict the spread of the monsters. That means only I can allow people to take a boat away from here, and then only when absolutely necessary. And that is where things have been. I have kept things afloat as best I can, waiting for Shaper help that has not arrived. No Shapers have tried to help you? None have even visited. Well, just one from your school, but he passed through quickly. But now you are here. Trapped here, in fact, with us. Will you be able to help us? Will you help us find out where these monsters are coming from and destroy it? If you did, it may be safe for people to leave the island, like you. There is an unmistakable undertone of menace to her voice. She has been given orders from the Shapers to keep the island under quarantine. If you ever want to leave this island, it will only be with her permission, and she wants something from you. Alwyn simmers angrily next to you. That this outsider would try to give orders to Shapers is infuriating to him. Greta looks at you hopefully. She clearly wants to offer to help the townsfolk, even if they aren't treating you with the proper respect. Alright, you have convinced me. I will do whatever I can to help you. Commander Hevig nods, surprised. She didn't expect such cooperation from a Shaper. Excellent. Then we have much to discuss, and I will make sure the people of the fort hear of your offer of cooperation. I am sure they will be glad to hear it. Yes, anything else you would like to know? Or do? I would like to help you deal with the rogues. I accept your offer of help, and if you assist me, I may be able to assist you too. As I said earlier, the rogues seem to have come out of the mines. I sent some scouts there. They explored and they found some sort of Shaper artifact. I'm not sure what it is, but it may tell us something about the source of the monsters. It is in the storeroom in the northeast corner of the fort. I'll send someone to unlock the door for you. Look at it and tell me what you think. Can you give me some supplies? I would like to, but we are cut off here. We have very limited supplies. I am sure that your Shaper resources can help you with whatever you need to do. Alright. I could use some more other information. Yes? You told me that a Shaper passed through here recently? Yes, Master Hoge came through here. He is an instructor in your school, yes? This is true. He was the only instructor to survive the attack, and now he is fleeing. Very suspicious. He left just before the quarantine. Refused to help. It was very odd. I would like to take a vote to the next island. And I would like nothing more than to help you, but the quarantine was put in place by the Shapers to keep dangerous creations on this island. Of course, if you were to do something to help us control those creations, I might be able to use my authority to let you go to Harmony Isle, the next island in the chain. Have you heard anything about interesting events on other islands? Not nearly enough. We are isolated here even under good circumstances. With quarantine, it is worse. Alright then, let's take a look at what this artifact that they found was. In the northeast, they said. I have a feeling I know what it's going to be. It is. This is a storeroom. Merchants passing through Fort Kentia usually use this room to store crystals and other goods passing in and out. However, at the moment, something unusual is being kept here. You see something curious in the corner. There is a cylindrical container. It is a canister a little over a foot high. The sides are made of thick, carefully blown glass. Inside it, you see a glowing fluid. It swirls and moves about, seemingly under its own power. It looks like it is, in its own way, alive. It probably is. You have never seen anything exactly like this before, but you have seen similar objects. The Shapers can hold essence, life energy within themselves, which they can use to heal or energize those in need. This must be something like that. However, these devices are rare and highly controlled. Why is one on this remote island? There is a small section of fragile glass at the top. If you break it with the palm of your hand, the substance will come forth and energize you. Whether the effect will be good or bad, though, you have no idea. Owen looks nervous. I would be cautious. We don't have direct permission to use a Shaper device. Greta is fascinated. I wonder what it is. We should see what it does. Well, you know what... Well, much like last time, using canisters can affect how you react and how people act and how you react to people and all that sort of stuff. We're probably going to need this power, though. Hopefully the game isn't as dangerous as the previous one, so we're probably going to use more canisters. I'm not going to go out of my way for ones, but if one was guarded, I'll take it. If one was just sitting in the open or behind a locked door, I'm probably not going to. If it's just a reward for something I've done, I'll take it. If it's sitting out in the open, forget it. Increases Searer by 1. You stumble a bit. You still feel a bit woozy. The stuff that in that canister did something to you. Something very strange. The stuff didn't heal or revive you like you expected. It changed you. It's like it soaked into your skin and rewrote some of your very being, making you stronger. You feel within yourself a new ability, a new spell. However, it is not in your mind where it should be. It is woven into your body, an innate part of you, ready to be called forth. You feel deep within yourself a powerful urge to find more of the canisters and see what they can do. At the same time, you feel fear. What has been done to you, and why do you feel such a compulsion to have it happen again? Of course, those of you who have seen the previous ones already know why. They are addicting. And they are dangerous. But we are going to need the power. I have found and inspected the Shaper device. Really? Excellent. What did you find out? I used the device. It was quite interesting. She seems surprised that you use a canister. She doesn't presume to offer an opinion on the wisdom of the move, though. I see. Well, you don't seem to have been harmed. A lucky thing. Oh well, I suppose we should move on to dealing with the actual problem. I will help you deal with the rogues now. I am glad. There is not much information of value I can give you, only that the mines to the north would be the best place to explore. Find who created the creatures afflicting us and destroy them. If you can, I will assist you as best I can, including, if you want, allowing you to leave the island. I will do what I can. We are all counting on you. The monsters are the creation of your kind. If anybody can defeat them, you can. We'll do the best we can. For now, though, we have more of this village, town, fort to look over. Like this building here. A lot of people in here. Townswoman, townsman. This is one of the number of people who are staying in this inn because they are stranded on the island by the quarantine. Unfortunately, you find that as a shaper it is impossible to have a nice casual conversation with a stranger. The people in the inn are terrified of you. You don't learn anything useful. There is a sailor wandering around the inn. Well, not so much wandering as stumbling. He's had a lot to drink and he seems to be looking for a fight. And he just saw you.
You, shaper! I'm Kogarth. I make my living fishing, and your rotten kind has made this quarantine and blocked everything up, and I can't make a living. What do you have to say to that, huh?
Things in the bar have gotten very quiet. Why don't you calm down?
Why don't you shut up? You and your kind making your orders, destroying our lives, keeping us from making a living just so you can solve the problems you made with your own monsters. I'm sick of it.
Alwan's hand starts to move closer to his blade. Kogarth is starting to make him quite angry. Well, I'll leave you to your drinking. Good day. You try to turn away, but Kogarth jumps forward and blocks your path.
No, you don't. I want answers. I want to know what makes you think you have the right to block everything up like this.
All eyes in the inn are on you. The other sailors are wise enough not to pick fights with you, but you can see that they are thinking much the same thing. You had best get out of my way.
Oh no, I want answers. What right do you have to lock us up like this? Because of monsters you created?
You are right, it is unjust. I'll see what I can do about it. Your response calms him down, but you hope that your Shaper superiors don't hear that you back down when challenged by an outsider.
Oh, alright. Well, that's good to hear. Good! And about time, too. You get it fixed.
He returns to his drinking, his status much raised in the eyes of his fellows. The inn is full, and the innkeeper is busy. She has so many customers to tend to and jobs to do that it takes several minutes for her to attend to you. She gives you a quick bow, adequately respectful, and says, I'm sorry for the delay, Shaper. I am Alila. This is my inn. With the quarantine, things are very busy, but I will help you as best I can. Would you like a meal or a drink? Sure, let's see what you got. Yeah, food and ale. Do you have any free rooms? No, the quarantine has been terrible for everyone else, but good for me. Every bit of floor has an unhappy miner or sailor or fisherman on it. Even if you were willing to live in such humble conditions, I have no room left. I am sorry, Shaper. Tell me about the quarantine. It was declared by the Shapers not long after the monsters appeared everywhere. From what I hear, it's what your kind does to keep the things from spreading farther. Yeah, it makes sense. How does someone leave the island? They get permission from Commander Hevig, and it's not likely that she'll give it. If she lets the wrong person off, the Shapers get mad. And then, well, it's bad for her. How widespread is the quarantine? From what I hear, it's everywhere. Every island in the chain. Nobody can go to another island or the mainland. I talk to lots of people, and even I don't know what's happening on the other islands. But it must be bad. Any problems with all the monsters everywhere? Plenty of problems, just not for me. Most of the monsters are outside. Not all, but most. The soldiers deal with them. I just stay in here and make drinks and such. Then I'm not entirely free. There is one monster that's been troubling me. You said that not all of the monsters are outside? Oh yes, some of the creatures slipped into the cellars under the fort, so we locked them in. I sealed the trap door in my kitchen and so on. If you want to know more about it, speak with Vale. He's really angry about it. What monster is troubling you? Bah, I have stables in the southeast corner of town for visitors and so on. Well, this shaper called Hoge comes through town, and he puts a creation in the stable and he leaves. And now the thing is going funny in the head. I'm afraid it's going to attack someone. I need someone to calm it down, or I'll get rid of it, I guess. I've been offering 100 coins to anyone who could help me with it, but no luck. Hoge left it? You mean Master Hoge from the Shaper School? I don't know, I suppose. He rushed through here just before the quarantine started. Didn't stay to help or anything. Peculiar. After the school was attacked, Hoge must have rushed ahead of you to get here first and leave the island. What sort of creation is causing trouble? Some big worm thing with fangs. I don't know. Must be that Artilla we saw. I guess we'll be going and checking that out. Looks like that's the way down into the cellar. We'll go in there later. Once we speak with Vale. Interesting name for a person. Vale. Is there something back in here? A living tool. See, it's always worth it to look around. And in here... Oh, these are just the docks. Ah! When you approach this guard, he steps between you and the boat. He won't let you near it. I'm sorry, Shaper, but I have orders, and I better not disobey them or it goes bad for me. There's a quarantine on. Nobody can use a boat or leave the island without permission from Commander Hevig. Right-ho. We know. It's understandable. More docks. Ah, that must be the boats... the, boat store? Whatever. When you approach, this massive, muscular man ceases his work and turns to you. He was patching a hole in the bottom of a boat. Taking a look at the piles of tools and half-done jobs in his workshop, you suspect he does a lot of work like this. Seems like having a shaper in his workshop makes him nervous, but it would be a bad idea for him to ignore one of your kind. He bows. I am Damix. Welcome to my shop, Shaper. I hope I can be of assistance. Do you have any services I can buy? He looks down at the floor. I am sorry, Shaper. I do lowly work. Work with tools and wood. Nothing that would be interesting to one of your powers. You do repairs? Work on ships? Oh, yes. I work on many things, but mostly ships. Not much work to do now, though, because of the quarantine. No business for anyone. Tell me about the quarantine. I don't know much, Shaper. It's not my place to. Tell me what you do know. Well, there are monsters here, and I hear on the other islands, so when the Shapers let some of their... He stops, then rephrases his words. When the Shapers have trouble with a monster and it gets loose, they call quarantine. They keep anyone from traveling to keep their pets from spreading before they cause even more trouble. Alright. The quarantine causes problems for you. Well, I am sure the Shapers do what they need to control their pets, but it is very difficult for us regular people. I am sorry that this happened. Perhaps we can make things easier for you somehow. That is kind of you to say, Shaper. You are more understanding than I expected. Damix watches you, waiting to see what else you want. He seems eager to get back to work. You look like you do a lot of tinkering. His face brightens. This is the subject he is very interested in. Yes, Shaper. In addition to all the repairs and tinkering I do, I work on a lot of other projects. Inventions, ideas. Those of us without your gifts have to do what we can. What sort of things have you made? I'm glad you asked. Lately I've been working on traps. I've been working on them on and off for years. But now, with all the monsters everywhere, I've been working very hard on them. In fact, I have a new model of trap in the back room. I would be honored if you tried it out. It is very weak. It should barely singe you if you can't disarm it, but I'm sure you can. Would you like to try it out? Alright, I'll try to disarm it. Would you? That would be very useful. It's back there in the corner. Sure, we can do this. Back there? This is a dusty storeroom. You have an easy time ignoring all the dusty tools and raw materials. Your attention is focused on the object on the floor in the back of the room. The device, partly buried in the dirt, is a mechanical trap. It's not magical, and it doesn't involve any sort of shaping, but it's dangerous nonetheless. And... Huh. I can't disarm it. We need more mechanical skill! You know what? Let's see what happens if we use it anyway. Right after I save. Actually, in hindsight... No, let's see what happens. Ow. Well, it didn't do much, but... Hey. I examined your trap. It worked. He grins. I knew it would! Thank you, Shaper. I'll start getting to work on some models that could really stop a monster. Give me a few weeks and my traps will really peel your skin off. His enthusiasm about such crude, non-magical devices is charming. What's in here, I wonder?